Hi. I guess I can ask, guess who? Is it sort of, well, have I actually, but what did I do? I want you to tell me. So, like from, like, yeah, I mean, over, but, and because. I mean, an onion's not an onion once it's sliced up, right? It looks like an onion, but it's not an onion. It seems like a lot of things in my work, okay, seem to have spaces in between. I mean, you can see me, right? We can see each other. There's spaces. That empty space has a number. It has a coordinate. It's over here and it's there. When I get there, what will be there? Empty space, nothing at all. But that's what you're looking for, the coordinates of the space that are at the pinpoint of nothing. Just like Abba and Ima. Abba, A-B-B-A, 1, 2, 2, 1. Okay? All it's doing is it's saying, I am father, I am mother, I am mother, I am father. So somebody else has started the conversation. Either it's the father saying, I am also the mother, or it's the mother saying, I'm also the father. You both have the same numbers in there. Now, the question I always ask myself, and it always bugs me because I can't get it perfect, right, is, you see, because 2, Ima, okay, takes over the job of Abba, 1. 2 takes over the job of 1. Okay, because 1, okay, in the creation world works from the number 3, now Beta has to take over 3 and 1 on her way. So it would actually look like 2, 0, 2, because the love is to the center. Or you can just put a 2 in the center and go, oh, 2, 2. But if you want to do it as an explanation, you put 2, 2, 2. Why? Because all these numbers I just gave you in combinations all total to 6 or 3. 1 and 2. 1 is alone, is the only God. He's a lonely God, but he's all alone. And he was all alone, but he was never alone, because upon him being created himself, other elements, smaller elements, like little animals, were just before him. I mean, that's the way I see it, of course. So we always had somebody to talk with, because obviously he created 170 languages here. I bet you God comes here tomorrow and he speaks every language. What do you say after that? Oh my God, he's speaking Hindu, he's speaking Islam, he's speaking Arabic, he's speaking Greek, he's speaking just about anything, but no French, no English, no Spanish. I'm not quite sure if he's going to come down here and use those 4 first languages. I think he's got to somehow head out towards the Mediterranean and fix things up there first. That's the biggest thing. Okay, once he strengthens the Mediterranean, then no one's going to be able to conquer him, because I feel that there's a dome of some sort, some mechanical angle that comes from the Baltic and up towards the Middle East. And what does this do? It's crazy, because I see this world so many ways. First, I see us as just like if you're watching TV and the electrodes are moving in the TV, but there ain't no guy in the TV, but it sort of looks like there's, hey, Ma, there's someone on TV. It's moving. I mean, we should only be excited that something gets to move on the TV. Look, I'm here, you see me. But it looks like I'm 3 feet away from the camera, and it looks like I'm not a husky guy with a little mustache and a hat. You can see the whole thing. You can even see me fold the hat, and you see both sides. You see all my action. And look, you can see that there's a size in the arm. But I'm flat on the screen. I don't know if I take up any more space on the screen than a guy who's 500 pounds. Mind you, the megapixels might be a little bit different, you know. He'd be taking up more of the screen, but it's the same screen. When you watch a TV program, if the field is 100 yards wide, it's the same screen. Anyways, I'm going to jump off to something, go back to Abba and Ima, but there is no Ima, okay? What God did is he takes creation, okay, and he ties it up with Uranus, Earth and Uranus. And he goes ahead underneath and he ties up the one spirit all the way over to Pluto. And he starts it up that way. Now, what goes in here first? Okay, the angle of beta, which is something I just discovered right now, because 2 must make it to 9. Now she has to bend her angle. The only way to bend her angle, okay, is by the passage through the number 5. So the number would be 259, 952. 9 and 2 is 11. Plus 5 equals 16. 6 and 1 is the one spirit, which is the letter P. And that's why would it create that letter P? The reason it creates that letter P is because the 5 hole on your telephone, imagine you have a little square thing on it, goes right over it, and there's a line that goes all the way down, and it hooks around the number 8, like a jack. And that makes a number 9, it makes a D, it makes a P. It all depends where it's hooked, okay? And the reason for the hook is because this is a constant where the two heavens must always be connected for one of them to survive. Because if one dies, the second one is still there, but there's nothing in it. It's empty, it's a void. And that would be made up in the 7 card. Look, 7 and 7. 2 gods, right? This is the only center one. This one over here stands for 5 and 2 or 2 and 5. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 1, 2. So 52. It would go right here. Okay, and this is your X. This is your 3 and 7. And this is over here your 1 and your 9 and your 5 connected. This 5 would go down and around the bottom part. And that bottom part is Neptune. Okay, that's what's down here. It's Neptune. So that means Jupiter and Neptune has to have a constant touching all the time. So we should be looking at these 2 planets, Jupiter and Neptune. But actually, okay, 2 and 5 is 7. That's a totality. Now the question is it 2 this one? Is it 5? Well, it can't be 5 because this is an upper world, okay? We don't start until the 2nd level where beta is valued at 7. 2 and 5 would make a 7. And then it would be 5 and 5. And if this was the 8 card, let's see if I'll pull out a couple of cards. Ah, there you go. You see, on the 8 card, I may have shown this already. You see the way you have that there? Well, now that light is going, you see beta world is east-west. East and west. Where's the Middle East? You know where the Middle East is? You see the way this one is pointing up this way and this one is pointing up this way? Okay, now I might make it wrong because I'm backwards to what I'm seeing on the screen. Okay, because these are pointing backwards and this part of the card here is the complete east. The Middle East would be right here. West, east. The middle's right here. We're going, oh no, this card, let me see. Fuck, I got, anyways, I'll do it backwards. You'll probably understand anyways. Okay, the Middle East is here. This is the complete east. This is the east-west. This is the Middle East. That's where they went. That's the Mediterranean. Okay, that's the way I have to look at it. Okay, that's the Middle East, that's the Mediterranean right here. And then we have the other side, which you see these are opposite of these because these 2 worlds point up. 2 beta worlds pointing up, 1 alpha world up, 1 alpha world down. 1 down, 1 up for the 2 gods of 8. Beta heaven, why beta heaven? 1, 2. He gives number 28. And what we were talking about before is all those people that they say the number of God is 72 because it's the 2 worlds, okay, of 6 plus the Spirit of God making it 7. 2 worlds of 6 beta and the Spirit of God. Spirit of God goes in the middle over here. 5 and 2. Because 5 and 2, when you flip them the other way, they're both the same number. They're 2, 2, 5, 5, 5, 2, 2, 5. Okay, so they die at 27. So this is the first creation, okay, of the heaven. And after this, okay, what they're trying to show you in this card is this is the first gate that went up. This is the first gate that went up that Beta was involved with, right? But the last part of her world, Neptune, is not here. It only shows up in the 8 card, okay? Not in the 7 card. So this is the 7th gate. Have you ever spelled gate? Listen to this. G-E-I-G-H-T. You got 8 and gate all in the same word. Like, come on. Please, tell me. What did God do? God did it all. He has made his numbers perfect. I see more than I tell everybody because right now I'm just so excited all the time to get home, and then I'm a little down because I can't actually write it down as fast as it comes in. And it's not only to write it down as fast as it comes in, there's also details that go along, and then once a detail comes along, I get another idea from something from yesterday as the mind starts to open up and you hit the computer banks of the matrix upstairs, the silver stream, the Coors silver bullet, if you want to call it. It's fast, my friends. It's the elevator right up. Stairway to heaven. You want to know how many stairs are at the heaven? I'm going to work out a scenario different ways. If you're counting for planets, right? If you're counting planets and spaces between planets, there's 9 planets. There's a space in between all of them is 8 is 17. Then there's one space after Pluto is 18. And then there's one space after Mercury is 19. And that would be the spirit, okay? Now you add the sun into it that creates the red of God's spirit and the yellow of the Christ inside the sun. And I got a little mixed up with something, but oh yeah, the space is 19, and that's the one spirit of the 9 birth, and you're at the sun. That space between the sun and the first planet is the space. It's the 19th space. That's the birth of man between the sun and Mercury. Okay, so now you get up to the sun, which is also a space, so that would be the 20th space. And that would stand for the Son of God, because God himself is his own son. I mean, the way I see it already. So the Son of God is the 20th space, and that says beta heaven, because it would be a 2 and a 0, and 0 is green roulette. 0 and 20 and 17 roulette connect the spirit worlds, okay, to the beta world between those 2 numbers, 17 and 20. And then after the sun, on the other side of the sun, because you always need a distance, you know, if you were measuring out and you took your arm, the other side would be number 21. Isn't that amazing? Add all these numbers on the dice. 21. There's 21 steps to heaven. If you count it from all the way one end of Mercury, standing just before the step of Mercury, going all the way up to the sun, and then taking a step off the sun the other side, and that would be where heaven is. Heaven is up to the sun, get on the sun, then take 1 step down. Do you know why you have to take 1 step down? That's your spirit step. That's that free spirit that brings you into the world. It took you up and down into one world and up and down into the other world, but we're starting at a minus in this world because everything was an add-on in this world. We're just like in TV. What else was I going to bring up? There's so many things. What was I talking about? Abba, Ima. We all know that, look, 1, 3, and 5 on the cards and on the dice are all the center spot. That's the one spirit, that's where it goes. Okay, period. Another thing I'm going to say is sometimes you can't, don't you remember in the other cards, this one was all the way over here. But now they squeezed it all together. So I have to change the way I think. Okay, they squeezed it together. You see, these are higher than the ones in the middle. Over here. I mean, over here. Over here. Right here. Okay, and they do that because there is nothing. This is an expression card 10. You start at 0, then 1, and you go all the way to 9, and then 1 and 0 and 1 again. It's an expression card. So when you count 1, 2, 3 is 1 row, and you count 1, 2, 3 is 2 rows, and 1, 2, 3 is 3 rows, and then 1, 2, 3 is 4 rows. That's the counting complete. But the basic count of it is count the up ones first. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 25. The face of Jack. See the way the 10's going the other way? And here's another 25. 25 and 25 is 50. Okay? 25 and 25. 10 is the expression of man, 6 and 4. 25, 6, 25. The Mayan count of 25, 6, 25. 50, 50, 1, 2, 5. It's hard to, anyways, whatever that was. So this is the expression card. So at the same time, you can count this over here. 1, 3, 7, 9. And then we stop. We flip over the, well, I already counted. So over here would be 20, 25, 20, 25, 70. So now it's telling you you're in the Gates world. What's the next number? There's nothing over here. Okay, that's where man goes. This is 10. It doesn't have the spirit creation. It doesn't have 1, 5, and 9 come together. And the only part of 1, 5, and 9 that we are is the 9. So we got to go to the 5 where the 1 comes to the 5. We meet. And we go over to 6 over to Saturn and we become 6 man. But are we 6 man on Saturn or are we really on Earth? Because I saw machine work today where it showed that 2, 4, 6, and 8 were movements. Okay, and it showed that in the compartment where number 3 was, there was an empty space. Every time it moved, there was an empty space in 3. So, I mean, if we end up on Earth, I mean, well, that's the way it is. But I don't want to really give up on any other planet. So then we get that. Now, the minute man goes in the center, that center one, right, will be 1, 2, 3. Don't forget, you need 3. The only place it shows up is in the jack. The jack doesn't show anything but his suit. And no one knows how to read the cards, right? Or do we? Do, eh? We know how to read the cards. I know. I see it in your face. I see it in your face. We don't have to be perfect. Let's make 1,000 mistakes. If we're having fun and we make 1,000 mistakes, then we can make 1,000 discoveries. Because with every mistake, we discover that it's wrong. And then we discover the discovery. So anyways, putting man in the center, right, would give a total of 75 total. Okay, do you understand me? 1, 3, 7, 9. 1, 3, 7, 9. 5, 5. 25. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 25, 50. 1, 3, 7, 9. 70. Plus man in the center, 75. Now you want to see something funny? When I turn the card this way for life, look. They go 2 by 2. Look, they go 2 by 2. Look, 2 by 2. They're going to come around to the other side. Do you see what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man 6 and the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 4 angel of the 2 and 2 beta. Do you follow me? 2 over here. These go this way. This is the card. I never noticed it before. I just noticed it right now. Well, anyways, because it goes this way, and because it goes this way, it's going to say 57, and then when it goes that way, it's going to say 75, right here in the card. 5775, it's in 2 years. I'm so sure in October. If this happens, this will trip me out if it happens. I mean, it seems so true. I've made it so true in my mind. I see it, I believe it because I see the numbers, and I'm not wrong. But wait a second, hold it. We're in trouble now. The teacher just showed up. After 7 years of doing my own work, the teacher just showed up. Yes, teacher. She says, you know what? This time you're half right. Okay, you want to do it? So 5775 is the time. 2 and 5 go in here, or you can change the count. You see 2 and 2 is the 4 angle of the 2 beta. This is, remember I'm saying MrTacpans 7286. I'll show you exactly that number, okay? Here is the 7. 27. There's 2 7s on there. I'm not making it up. But anyways, it is the 7, okay? Okay? It is the beta world because in this position and in this position, beta exists. She doesn't exist up here. She starts to exist here. I still have to go the count 1, 3, blank, 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 7, 9. If you ever notice, truthfully, most of the time, all you're going to get is an odd number. If you only count from here to here and then flip the card up and say, well, from here to here, well, you're not going to get the same result. Do you understand the concept? Here's beta 27, okay? Here's where it is up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total is 25. Then I flip the card this way, okay? 1, 3, 7, 9, 20. 25 and 20 equals 45. 4 is next to 5 on your dice, on your telephone, okay? And 4 and 5 is 9 for birth. 4 by 5 makes the beta world. This is the beta world. She has this side and this side, 2 sides of 7, 2 worlds of 7, because there's going to be another one going over here. But in a dice, it all changes. All they show you is the 6 with a dot in the center. Okay, but if you look on this side, there's a 5. Now, if you turn it, there's a 5, there's a 5, and there's a 1. So those 2 poles, okay, run straight in. They cannot, by going over to the other side, okay, they will be going through each other. So there must be some kind of elbow bend on the inside of this. And also possibly, okay, you see on the 2 there's nothing? Also possibly it can be the same design as Rubik's Cube. I have a funny feeling, and I'm also so sure of this, that however God created this whole thing, we already have all the elements on our computers right now. If we just know where to go, we can reconstruct how the good golden creator constructed this entire world that we live in. Think that would be cool? Hey, answer all those questions from the Bible about life. But a lot of answers have to be just basic answers, because there are no real answers that give you a mathematical effect. Just doesn't happen that way. Why did God do this, and why was this, and why was that? Some stuff is just expression of other things that had to be done. Certain things were made just as reminders not to forget other things. And it's just something that's always, you know what I'm saying? When you have to put things in order. So now what we have here is we're going to do just a single. In the single shot, I do this one, it says 25. I do this one, it says 25. JACK equals 25. The word 6 is 52. There's 52 weeks in a year. Heart is also 52. One of the things about 52, they're complete opposites on the dice. If you take 5 minutes and connect that to the movement of the earth, you're going to get one spirit of 25, which is the reverse of 52. I'm trying to figure out, there was another thing over here. Here. 2, 5, 2. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 4. That's the way it works. This is man. This here angle, the L angle, okay, to here creates the letter J. Okay, and this one from here down to here also creates the letter J, because they both connect the jack into 5. You know, like you say, telephone jack? Well, this is number jack, number 5. Okay, we're going to go again to number 25. Add up the L and M together is the 12th letter and 13th letter is 25. L is for life, and life of the what? Of the 4 angle of the 6th spirit of man. The 57, again, 57. 5, 2, anyways, whatever it is, how can I tell you? See these things over here? This is a club. There's a club here, a club here, a club here, and a club here. Those stands that they're on are not stands. They connect to the center pivot over here. This is the mind working. This center dot, okay, is just a receptive area. It's not a complete dot. It's the dot that you don't see behind the club card because these dots are covering this dot. But if you really want to count that dot, because that dot is still there, okay, but it doesn't have the same usage as the other dots, okay? So we're going to count 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. So now one spirit of man 6, okay, which is the P letter, which goes around here and goes to connect only to here. You see this over here, this dot? I'm going to show you that dot. Okay, you see that dot? Now I'm going to show you something else. You see the dots now? It goes around, it's like an arm on the clock. It has its own level, okay? And I followed the dots. All I did is came to the dots. I was supposed to make it round. This is the 9. At the same time, that is your jack. Why is it your jack? This is Neptune. This is Saturn. This is Mars. This is Jupiter. You just put the line from here across. And there's your jack. Always hooked up to the heavens. Always connected to Mars, the 4th angel, and the 6th man. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see the 4 points there? 5, 6, 7, 8. How come I got 8 and not 6? Don't you know how the dice work? When you take a dice, okay, and you got 8, okay, let's say you have a 6 and 2 for 8. The opposite side at 6 and 2 will be a 1 and a 5, and that'll be 6. So they have the same payout at the same time. So it's like reverse psychology. They reverse things. Hebrew way, Greek way, upside down. There's 4. You pass by the number 5 4 times. It's that simple, okay? The basics of it is what is prior to that. I'm at such a point that I can't. I hit the cement floor, and I know there's more. So I keep thinking that when I got my right answer, it might not be right because I don't feel that the tenderness of it coming running inside. Anyways, so this connects to this. Okay, this. Okay, I'm not sure, but it may turn like a windmill. Okay, this this club. I'm not sure yet if they're non-moving or their turn as a windmill, sending back the energy up to here. These will serve as a windmill. Hold on, just let me do this, and can also look like this. Can also look like that. Okay, I have to redo this. This is not measured. So if I don't measure it, I told you if I go off of a line and I don't notice it, then it can mean everything. It can be all wrong. So this is all our jack hooks. And there's going to be, normally there are 8 places to hook up. But every time you hook up in one place, you hook up in 2 places. So there has to be only 4 jacks. Hey, 4 jacks. I guess they have that in one pack of cards, right? I guess that's why there's 4 jacks and not 5 jacks. But don't forget, the jack is interchangeable because when you get your deck of cards, those 2 jokers are a big story to those 2 jokers. And the suits are also stories because I want to know what a beautiful gem. Was she a diamond? Did you go to a club? Or did you hit her with a club? In French, they'd say "sem pic," and that means a spade, and it means it's scratching my ass. The heart's en cœur. En cœur can also mean to mean short, court, small. So all these things, especially with the numbers, give me a T, 10, 20, 30. Give me another T, Tuesday, Thursday. Give me an S, Saturn. Give me another S, Sunday. Give me another S, Saturday. Yeah. Give me an E, Jupiter. Jupiter don't start with an E. Well, it does in my world. I'll explain it in a minute. Give me an E. Give me a 3. So you say Earth. Okay. Now, I'm going to try and explain to you. Jupiter is in the 5th position. The 5th letter is E. Earth is in the third position, and it's an E from the number 5. 3, 5, 5, 3. So now you see now that number 5 connects to 3 because it shows 3, 5, 5, 3. It says I go from 3 to 5, from 5 to 3, and we got a connection. Give me another number. 2 and 4. You can do 2 and 4 also. And 2 and 4 is connected. But then we have to take a look. Is 2 and 4 connected? Yep, 2 and 4 is connected. It's connected on an angle. Do you know what 2 and 4 does? I'm going to show you what 2 and 4 does. Now, you see this box here? I'm going to show you what 2 and 4 does. 2 and 4 creates a stop sign, an octagon. Why? Because you have 1 corner, 2 corners, 3 corners, 4 corners. So the angle of the 2, the number 2 is over here, and the number 4 is over here. So to reach from 2 to 4, you have to cut the corner off. Okay? And then you'd have to do the same thing down in this corner, and then this corner, and this corner. Well, you got to make a perfect world, no? Because God's a square and Beta's a little crooked, and they're pretty much screwed up who built us. Oh, good Lord, how you did this, I don't know. The things I find that make me laugh. He wants to make you laugh while you're doing the work that we choose to do. We laugh. He made it fun for us. Or is it just that I love it so much? Is it that I'm so insane? But for me, there is no insanity in the eyes of our God. There is no insanity when you're doing something in the eyes of our God, is there? Fuck. Just gave me the answer. What do you think he said? He said to me, my friend, he says, you can go insane wherever you may be and whatever you may think. He says, always watch where you go and always watch what you do, regardless of what you believe that everything is going to be cool with God. You know what I'm saying? He says, even though things will be cool with God, he says, watch your path. He says, I'm not with you right now. He says, I'm here to help you when you ask me. He says, but otherwise than that, you're making your own choice in the next step you take. Otherwise than that, everybody does know that this is streaming. We're streamed. Oh yeah, do you know what I think? Listen to this. Listen to this. This is so cool. We're streamed up to no more, okay, than the minimum, okay, is 8 hours, and the maximum is 36 hours that we are being streamed. Like what I'm doing right now, I've already done it already. Even saying what I'm saying, it was already written down, and I'm doing it now. And what's so fantastic about it, the only reason I'm able to do this is because before I did this video, I thought of this already. Now it's coming back for me to say it to others. So what we don't know we didn't do, but we actually did do it. As long as the thought is there and everything is well put and done, then everything's going to be on its way, and it'll be a lot more fun than graggling around, oh my God, am I going to die? Am I going to die? So anyways, that 71 is also 72. 7. Okay, it's the 5 Spirit of God. The 5 Spirit of God. Now, how is the 5 Spirit of God? It's the second level. It's the 5th one. God is 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay, he's all the odd ones. Actually, you know what? He's 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8. Is that the way it works out? Anyways, let me get on to something that's next. 18 and 4 is 27. The word rogue. Have you ever heard of the word rogue? R-O-G-U-E. Rogue. Just put the G in front of the U and the U behind it. It can also say age. But anyways, that's red. Rogue means red. The number count in it is 66, okay? Now, apparently this might not get passed, or it's been knocked down, the rogue. And the thing about rogue is the middle of the rogue, or the middle of the road, is actually the spirit or the person who is caught between the two sides. because 66 says the two sides of beta. Do you know why two sides of beta? Because it can either be this side and this side, or this side and this side. Isn't that the way you make a cross? No? But it's not like Saturday Night Fever, because it's like, you know what the John Travolta was doing? He was going like this. Hey, you remember John Travolta that was doing like this? He's going creation into the eights, creation into the beta world. 3-7. We, like, before I looked at the 7 card, I couldn't really understand, okay, and I'm probably going to forget, I couldn't understand what 3 and 7 meant. Uranus, right? And Earth and Uranus are Earth and the gates. But now I understand, because 7, this position becomes number 7. This is the actual position. So it gets to go here with the creation, and this goes to here. It seems like the 5, okay? The 5 owns. The 5, I think, is stronger than the 1. It owns all the 4 corners. The 1 spirit of the 4 angle of God, and man is the 1 spirit of the 5 angle. And the 5, why does he have the 5 angle? Because he needs 2 dots. He needs 2 dots. He needs 2 dots. The reason he needs 2 dots is because this is the electronics that's hooked up to man. Okay? God, man always ends up to be here. This is where man is. This is the way this card should actually be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Something's missing in here. What's missing in here? So let me take a look at something. Oh, I was looking at the 10 card. Yeah, sorry. The difference between the 8 and the 10, okay, is the completion of the 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. This is not the completion of this. This is divided between here and here and here and here. Okay, just by the positioning of these, okay, in which that center spirit makes all the difference. Here I have 4 corners. Here I actually don't. I have to go all the way down here to get them. This is 25, okay, but this is not 25. Look, these are going down. I only got 3 standing up here. The total up here is 1, and 3 is 4, and 5 is 9. That would be a partial number of the birth. You have 9 here, but on this side you have 1. You have 25. 25 and 9 is 34. You know what that equals? It equals to ace. Did anybody know this dot? Okay, this dot, and this dot. A, C, E spells ace almost on every card. The 8 card and the 7 card and the 10 card, 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10, all spell ace. 7 and 8, September and October again, because of the birth, Abba and Ima. Anyways, I'm going to stop it right here. There's so much. Another thing to point out is that pentagram has a 95 letter count, which is actually the passage connection between angel and man. Octagon connects the 2 heavens. The word club connects the club. See, there's 3 in the center, right? 38. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 38. Number of creation heaven, 38. I just learn as I go, and whatever I know. Okay, we're going to end it right here. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a little long. There's so much. I can probably, right now today, I didn't plan to do 5 minutes, and I can probably do hours on end. And I'm always afraid. My biggest fear in life, everybody, please, my biggest fear in life. Okay, for some, it's going to be a laugh. For others, it's going to be something different. My biggest fear in life is to somehow stop doing this work, lose lose the will, the want to do it. But you know what really helps me? When I smoke this, my friends, this stuff, And the Lord came on to Mary, the mother of Jesus, in the middle of the night, and he said, you have no choice. And Mary says, at what do I have no choice, and do I owe the pleasure? He says, well, we're going to smoke a big bone. Mary thought she was going to get laid. She actually really thought she was no longer a virgin. When God sent, he said he's going to take out his bone. Mary said, no, no, no. And God says, I'm taking out a big bone. And Mary says, no, no, no. She's going to have a son. I said, no, no, no. So God takes out one of these bones. He says, come on, Mary, let's smoke one up. So what did God actually say to Mary? He says, I'm a good God. He says to Mary, he says, I just have to ask you one question. Mary, do you wanna? Mary, do you wanna? Mary, you wanna? Married, 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 you wanna? So Mary and God smoked a big bone that night. She came back giggling, back into a beautiful apartment, set upon the rocks. Up on the rocks, right? Oh my God. Watch out for those stones. It wasn't the rocks that were there. It was that she was a stone. So stoned, she thought they were rocks. They were stones. And she was so stoned when she came home. And she went and she told her husband, she said, you know what? I don't know if what you say, I heard between the men, once you get the big bone, you're no longer a virgin. Well, tonight I got the big bone from God. I must not be a virgin anymore. And 6 months, 9 months later, Jesus came up. And her husband comes up to her and says, I thought you were joking about that big bone. He says, I want to speak to this guy. He says, me too, I want a big bone. So Mary and little baby of Jesus, they all got together and he found God out by the mountain. And the husband of Mary says, listen, God, I want to know what big bone you did to my wife because I want to know. So God whips out a big bone. He says, so they all got stoned that night. They were all laughing. Everybody got confused. They totally forgot what Jesus was born for. That's why he got killed 33 years later, because they were all smoking this big bone. You see, it wasn't that Jesus may have not been the Son of God. You know what it was? He was just too damn intelligent and always smoking weed. That's why he knew all of that. The only reason he knew he was down here for his father, because he smoked at a really young age. His father even smoked the big bone with Mary and his stepfather. But did Jesus know he only had a stepfather? Did he actually know that he was just conceived on that night of the big bone when the Star of Bethlehem was lit up? You know, the Star of Bethlehem, the night that Jesus was conceived, there was 3 years later of the convection of Jesus. Or was it, were they smoking the big bone? And I mean, that's what I'm really thinking about, you know. Maybe Jupiter is part of the big bone. But anyways, there's a place in Asia. They call it Madagascar or something. Well, it looks like Groucho Marx with a big cigar sticking in his mouth. If people know how to read things, I can see. I have a very good vision for seeing distortion. Okay? I can make distortion into something else. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's looking for anybody, because that's what I like to do, because I sort of went to work today. I showed up at 1. There's really not much to do. A couple of weeks ago when I was told, well, the season's over, you don't have to come in. And a week later, the guy says, come in. So I go in, I work a couple, I get a couple of bucks, and you know what, I don't ask for the extra hours. I figure I'll pile them up. And now that I accumulated about 35 hours, and I've actually gotten paid for 14 of them only, I'm willing to just drop it, okay, although this person doesn't even know that they owe me this money. But I asked him, am I going to work by the hour? How do you want to work this? He says, just work. He says, don't tell me your hours. He says, just work. Just work. Don't tell me your hours, just work. So my thing after that is how much you're going to pay me. And before I said that, I thought, that's what I'm doing right here for God. Just work. Just work. You'll get paid off eventually. Things will go straight if they're not straight. The path is always straighter towards the goodwill of the God, because that's the way he leads you. All our choices, most of them might be good. You make one wrong move, and the thought for that night is now tilted. Wouldn't you like to think of horrible things sometimes, because nothing horrible ever happens in your life? a what if this and a what if that. Well, you want to know what if? Let me tell you one thing about what if. I is the 9th letter for a birth. F is 6 for man. It's 6 and 9. Okay? So if it's 6 and 9, can that mean if we're still living on Pluto, there's an elastic band hooked from Pluto up to Saturn, and it's going round and round and round as that 6 and 9. As one goes down, part of 6. Because what can happen, as it goes down, it doesn't have to go all the way back up. They have these crazy things I saw. We're working with some of these sprockets and stuff, and they have this really weird sprocket that instead of it continuous, this wheel goes around and only makes it move one notch, and it keeps going around one notch at a time. So it would be almost like a watch. It's like watch work. So definitely what I'm telling most of you about building, I mean, I'm not all about into building this thing. It's out of watches. Tick-tock, the mouse ran up the clock. What was the clock? Was he running the clock up, or did he run up the clock? What do you mean he ran up the clock? To run up the clock, and usually in some sports you have to count it down. What sports do we run clocks up? Soccer, we run a clock up, right? So now we got something to run up. It's a clock. It's soccer. But clocks that run down are hockey. Football clock runs down and resets. Okay? So when does a time stop and reset? I have to do this with all the sports. I have to do this with the keyboard, Monopoly, all the casino games, all the letters, all the numbers, 1, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 2, 11, 20, 29. You see the way 2, 11, 29 go together? 2, 11, 1 and 1 is 2. 29, 2 and 9 is 11, 1 and 1 is 2. 2, 2, 2. Right up the center of the roulette. The roulette is definitely, I know everything's involved. So big deal. So I know. Now everybody knows I know. Now they know too. Now the information they have and the information I have, maybe they have more information and know more than me. It doesn't matter. One day maybe we can all come together and put this information somehow online and see what it builds. This is a blueprint. These are the beginning of the blueprints, okay, of something. I mean, we're going to start building one piece, and this one piece is going to build into 10 different rooms, and you're going to be building, and you're going to have 10 different, first of all, you're going to have more than that. You're going to have 99 rooms for sure, plus 11. Actually, I'm wrong. You need over 360 rooms, but I'd be wrong again because you got to follow the natural numbers, 360 degrees, 366, 365.25. You got to follow all these numbers until you find one that fits in a slot, and you can work that number off in that slot. 7286. I don't know where it is. I'm going to write some stuff down. I'm just going to look at this. Oh yes, the numbers in the cards that include the single 5 spirit of the good Lord is the 1, 3, 5, and 9. 9 and 5 is 14, which is the N. 1 and 3 is 4, which is the D. DN. D and N. D-E-N. End. Okay, so anyways, the total is 18 Chai, or the 1 spirit of the 8 heaven. Birth. Man is the 3 spirit of the 6 creation. Man is 3 and 6, birth. Because each one of these are 9. 1 and 8, 2 and 7, 3 and 6, 4 and 5, 5 and 4. But man is not the 1 spirit. Man is not the beta world. Man is the creation, okay, of the 6 spirit. The 3 creation of 6. So man is 3 and 6. And that would make 1, 2, 3 inside of this. Because on the 10 card, all you're missing is that 1. So if you want to go heaven, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your 8 heaven. This is 4 of 8 heaven. Or 1, 2, 3, 4 of 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your 12. So 12, 4 of 12 is 1/3. And that's your 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 3, 3, 3, the creation of Christ, and the reason for pi. I mean, and anyways, when you want to talk about 620, why is the number is 622, 6, 2, 6, right? 2, 6. 2, 6, 2, 6. It's this one and this one, this one and this one. The angle is this one and this one, and this one and this one. I mean, the way they go together. Do you follow me? There's got to be a man in the middle. So is man living out of here? And he actually is 10, and his extra spirit of God is in this hole right over here, is the question. Is he the 9? Is he the 9 card? Because the 9 card shows the 4 angles and the 4 angles, 4 and 4, and then the 4 angles 25. This number says Jack. It's got to be this card over here. Okay. Now what's missing in here? There's 9. Okay. So how do we get 11? Because this world and this world come together to make one world. So if this world was functioning, they'd put a mark here. And if this world was functioning, put a mark here. Except this world goes into this world goes into this world, passing both into this world, and the same thing with that, both into this world. And then this is the diamond card. Okay, it splits. 2.5 men. You ever think of it? 2.5 men, 2.5 men. One of the reasons for that. Anyways, no, I have to figure out and say the 10 is not there for nothing. This is the card. I just have to figure out exactly how this works now that I brought it up. Anyways, thank you for the 52 minutes that I have brought upon you. I feel really bad that I make these long videos and everybody's got to watch these videos. And I mean, if I'm just watching my videos, you can't watch anybody else. Anyways, I stand up tall for Ron Paul. I hope that all those that are doing no good are weeded out. And I praise a blessed on all the people who just don't have the understanding of what the good Lord is all about. I make a prayer for them, even if they don't have to know how to pray for themselves. I'm going to help them out, that whatever's troubling them, that it will no longer trouble them. And somehow in a dream, the Lord will come upon their heart and open up their eyes so they can see where the goodness lies. O Lord of Hashem, in the yellow world of Christ, we bring on Violent Red, Rogue, Raphael, MrTacpans, the constellation of Pegasus of 7286. They showed me the way 7 years ago, on the countdown to 7 years of the commencement of a world I never knew before. This is fantastic. Thank you.